The Princess Who Laughed at Humans. The imperial court of the Zytherian's stellar dominion was designed to inspire fear. 1,000 crystalline pillars stretched upward into a dome of living starlight. Noble houses floated in anti-grav platforms around the throne, their armored attendants watching in silence. At the center stood Princess Valeria Zythera, tall, silver-skinned, and crowned with fractal crystal horns, the mark of royal blood. She had spent her entire life believing one thing: humans were primitive, weak, short-lived, emotionally unstable, barely worthy of galactic citizenship. And today she intended to prove it. The court doors opened. Bound in energy restraints, escorted by Dominion soldiers, stood a human, Commander Elias Ward, a captured officer from the Terran Union Navy. He looked unimpressive. No claws, no armored hide, no bioluminescent markings, just a tired man in a torn black uniform. Princess Valeria stepped down from the throne platform and circled him like a predator. "This is humanity's finest," she asked loudly. The court chuckled. Ward didn't answer. Valeria smirked. "Your species claims military excellence, yet one raid and your commander kneels in chains." Ward slowly lifted his head. His eyes were calm. Too calm. "Are you done?" he asked. The court went silent. A prisoner was not supposed to speak without permission. Valeria laughed. "You are in no position for pride, human." Ward shrugged. "You'd be surprised." That arrogance angered her, so she ordered the humiliation. The guards forced him to his knees. A noble activated a holo display showing the destroyed human cruiser he had commanded. "Your ship burns, your crew dead or captured." Ward stared at the image, and then said something unexpected. "Then they bought enough time." "Time?" Valeria asked. "For humanity to notice." The court erupted in laughter. The Terran Union was small compared to the Dominion, an annoyance at best. Valeria waved dismissively. "Take him to the lower prison decks." The guards dragged Ward away. As the doors closed, he turned once and said calmly, "Princess, you really shouldn't have captured me." 3 days later, everything collapsed. The rebellion began. Not by humans, by Valeria's own people. The Dominion had grown corrupt, noble houses plotted endlessly, and Princess Valeria, brilliant but arrogant, had made too many enemies. During a royal assembly, the trap was sprung. Explosions rocked the palace. Elite guards turned their weapons inward. House Varkesh had declared a coup. Within minutes, the throne hall became a battlefield. Valeria fought like royalty were trained to fight, graceful plasma blades cutting through traitors. But numbers overwhelmed her. Her personal guard died one by one. Finally, she was forced to retreat through emergency corridors. Alarms screamed, the palace burned, and worst of all, the rebellion was broadcasting a message across the Dominion. Princess Valeria is a traitor to the people. A lie, but lies spread faster than truth. She fled deeper into the palace, until she reached a sealed security checkpoint. Behind it, the prison block. She hesitated. Then a rebel squad turned the corner, blasters raised. With no choice left, she forced the door open and slipped inside. The prison corridors were dark. Emergency lighting flickered. Cells lined both sides. Inside them were criminals, political enemies, captured soldiers, and in the final cell, the human. Commander Ward sat calmly on the floor, as if he'd been expecting her. Valeria stared through the energy field. He tilted his head. "Well, he said. "Princess? Looks like you're the prisoner now." She wanted to kill him, but outside the corridor, rebel troops were getting closer. Valeria lowered her weapon. "You," she said, "you are a military commander. Last I checked. If I release you, you will assist me." Ward raised an eyebrow. "You humiliated me in front of your entire government?" "Yes." "And now you want help?" "Yes." He considered this, then shrugged. "Sure." Valeria blinked. "That easily?" Ward stood. No point dying in a prison. She disabled the field. He stepped out, rubbing his wrists. "Got a weapon?" She tossed him a spare plasma pistol. Ward inspected it. Alien tech always has too many buttons. Behind them, the blast door exploded inward. Rebel soldiers rushed in. Ward didn't hesitate. 2 shots, 2 rebels dropped instantly. His aim was terrifyingly precise. The others ducked behind cover. Valeria stared. "You fight well for a primitive." Ward grinned. "Princess, you haven't seen primitive yet." They ran through the collapsing palace. Ward moved like a predator. Every corner checked, every movement controlled. He cleared rooms with brutal efficiency. Valeria quickly realized something disturbing. Humans weren't weak. They were relentless. At one point, 5 rebels ambushed them in a narrow corridor. Ward pushed her behind cover, then charged straight into the gunfire. Not retreating, advancing. He used walls, momentum, and terrifying aggression. In seconds, the rebels were down. Valeria stared in disbelief. "You should have died." Ward reloaded calmly. Humans don't quit easily. Eventually, they reached a hangar. Rebel ships filled the bay. No escape. Valeria slumped against a console. "It is over." Ward looked around, then pointed. A small shuttle sat in the corner. Guarded. "Not over yet." They sneaked closer, but alarms triggered. Dozens of rebels turned. Blasters raised. Valeria whispered, "Even you cannot defeat that many." Ward sighed. "Yeah, probably not." Then he tapped a device on his wrist. "What did you just do?" she asked. Ward smiled. "I told humanity where I am." The rebels advanced, weapons ready. And then, the sky above the hangar split open. A human warship punched through orbit. Not elegant, not graceful, just terrifyingly fast. Orbital cannons blasted rebel ships in seconds. Drop pods slammed into the hangar floor. Human marines poured out, screaming battle cries. The rebels broke instantly. Valeria watched in stunned silence. Ward holstered his weapon. "Told you," he said. Humans noticed. Hours later, the palace was secured. The coup collapsed. Dominion loyalists regained control. In the rebuilt throne chamber, Valeria stood once more before the court. But this time, beside her stood a human, Commander Ward. The same nobles who laughed before now watched him nervously. Valeria spoke to the court. "Today I learned something." She looked at Ward. "Humans are not primitive." The court listened carefully. "They are dangerous." Ward whispered to her, "That's the nicest thing anyone said about us." She smirked slightly, then announced, "From this day forward, the Zytherian Dominion recognizes the Terran Union as honored allies." The nobles murmured. Valeria added one final line, "And Commander Elias Ward is under my personal protection." Ward raised an eyebrow. "Protection?" She leaned closer. "Yes, because if my people ever capture another human commander," she smiled, "I want it to be you." Ward laughed. And somewhere in the galaxy, humanity gained a new reputation. Not as primitives, but the species you never underestimate twice.